and Chase moves it up to just shy of the 40-yard line. Sandstoners have been on a tear this season. Second down and 5. Continue to keep the ball on the ground, and Chase continues to carry. Chase gets it up to around the 37-yard line. Dan Chin is at quarterback, number 20 for the Potsdam Sandstoners. 3rd and 2. Chin, the pitch comes back. There's Osgood. And Osgood picks up another Sandstoner first down. So Potsdam really moving the ball well on the ground. Cutting like a knife through butter at this Massena defense. And wasting no time and coming right up to the ball. 1st and 10 at the 30. Chin, flags fly. And we'll wait and see what this is about. It's going against the Sandstoners, illegal procedure call. It'll mark it off 5 yards. So that brings the ball back to the 35-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 15 for the Sandstoners. Chen will keep it himself, and Chen, they have got back the yardage they lost on the penalty. And as you look at the other conference, the Watertown Cyclones, boy, have they been going this season. 7-0 overall and 6-0 in their conference. OFA at 5-2, Governor at 3-3, and Indian River at 1-5. 2nd down. Chen will put it up in the air and just barely overthrows number 15, James Osgood. And a bit of a surprise there as the Sandstoners, going against the wind, decided to put it up. There was plenty of velocity on it as you get a look at James Osgood, the junior halfback. Good to know that he'll be around for another season. Coach Tony Vaccaro, I'm sure, is happy about that one. Good coverage on the play by the Red Raiders. 3rd down at about 13. Chan, the handoff, a reverse. Frank LaSala on the carry for the Sandstoners. So it will be 4th down. And 10 more for a first down, and the Potsdam Sandstoners want to call a timeout. So the Sandstoners trying to move it along, but the Red Raiders are tough. We'll be back with more football.
There to back you on all your services.
While we were away, Chin put the ball up and had a man open on the sidelines, and they get the first down, a big one for the Potsdam Sandstoners. Gambling on 4th and 10, and they pick up the first down, and the drive is still alive. Play is straight ahead. And Chris Chase again on the carry. Get a look at Chris Chase. Sandstoners gambling early here and wanting to get a quick score on the board, and they're pulling out all the stops. Chin will keep it himself, and Chin straight forward. Big game for Chin on the play, and there's the situation right now. Massena needs to win to take on Watertown for the Class A championship, and Potsdam must win for them to face Watertown for the Class A championship. That is about as simple as it gets. Third down at about 5. Chen wants to put it up in the air. That's batted away. Good defensive play by Mark Goodfellow, the tall Massena defensive player, getting in there and whacking that one away. It's a little hard to pass on Mark Goodfellow when he's coming at you. Very tall individual. So the Sandstoners decide to call a timeout here to talk it over. Once again, fourth down coming. They gambled before and picked up a huge amount of yardage, in fact 10 yards. No score with 6:46 left to play in the first quarter. Happy to have you with us here. We're at Mike Nicholas Field in Massena, New York. I'm Jamie Davis. A rather windy and brisk evening, to say the least, here at Mike Nicholas Field. But a big football game for both of these teams. And it has been all Potsdam so far here in this first quarter. They have moved the ball down the field. They started back around the 38-yard line, their own 38, and have moved the ball to this point here. Here we go, fourth down. Chen wants to put it up. He decides to keep it looking, and it's intercepted. Trying to get away from everybody, it looked like Dan Frost on the interception. And Frost runs it back to the Massena 48-yard line. And we'll get a chance to look at it again. It looked as if Chen could not quite find his receiver, had to roll out. And he tossed it, and Dan Frost came across and said, "Look what I've got, and come and get me." And Frost with some nifty moves there and brings the ball way out to almost midfield at the 48-yard line, and the Red Raiders are in business. First and 10 with great field position. Hubert sends a man in motion. The play goes up the middle as the Red Raiders keep it on the ground. Brian McDonald carrying the ball, gets it into Sandstoner territory. So the Red Raiders with a big interception by Dan Frost, as the Sandstoners moving the ball well down the field. On fourth down, Chen puts the ball right in Dan Frost's hands, and he gave him good field position. Handoff again goes to McDonald. McDonald grinds out a couple of yards, and it'll be third down. The wind is at Matt Hubert's back, so if he does put one up, it'll really carry. So third down, he looks to the sidelines to get the play. Again, this game very important for the Massena Red Raiders. A win here would probably be their biggest win of the season so far. They seem to have improved each week as they've gone along throughout this season. Hubert pitches the ball out. Grady, and Grady darts down the sidelines. Grady, like a freight train, touchdown. Steve Grady, who was sporting 1,076 yards for the season coming into this game and rushing, and the ball gets out to Grady, and he darts down the sidelines, and a touchdown. And if the Sandstoners were going to stay in this game, they had to stop this man, and Steve Grady getting the touchdown, and that is one of the last things the Sandstoners wanted to see, was him get loose. And the extra point coming up. The kick is up, and it's good. 5:05 remaining to play in the first quarter, and the score, the Massena Red Raiders 7 And the Potsdam Sandstoners, nothing. And we'll get a chance to look at the touchdown again. Hubert sends Grady in motion and says, here you go, Steve, take off with it. And Grady, beautiful block right there, a couple of good blocks, and that gave Grady enough room, and down the sidelines he went. And the nearest one to him was Chad Carista, and he just could not get there. And Grady. But what started it all was that huge interception by Dan Frost down by the goal line and giving them great field position. And a couple of running plays, and then on third down, Hubert to Grady and into the end zone for a touchdown. So Dan Frost gets ready to kick it off. Eric LaValle. LaValle reverses his field. And LaValle finds room. LaValle all the way up to the 46-yard line, and LaValle with some fancy footwork. Reversing his field and finds himself in great field position, or gets his team in great field position. 4:54 left to play in the first quarter, and I'm sure you can hear going through my microphone. This wind has really picked up here, and it is right in the face of the Sandstoners. The pitch comes back. On the carry, Chad Carista, number 24. This wind is just howling here. It has now finally died down just a little bit, but it was just pretty good gust here just a minute ago. Second down, about 8. Handoff. And trying to grind out some yardage up the middle, and does. Picks up about 4 on the play. Brandon Murray. Third down and about 2 for the Sandstoners now. Ball at the 47-yard line of Massena. Chin. Again, Sandstoners keeping it on the ground, this time picking up big yardage and another first down. On the carry, James Osgood, and on the tackle, Brad Griffith for the Massena Red Raiders. And there you get a look at the Red Raider sideline. They are really pumped up, I'm sure, for this contest. They need it so badly. Chen, handoff up the middle again. Gain of about 3 maybe on the play. 3:26 left to play in the first quarter. Mike Nicholas Field in Massena, New York. The Massena Red Raiders entertaining the Potsdam Sandstoners. The Red Raiders have the lead 7-0. Sandstoners went down the field. Dan Frost intercepted a pass, ran it back to the 48-yard line, and then 3 plays later, Matt Hubert. Pass to Steve Grady and into the end zone for a touchdown. And the Red Raider defense rises to the occasion there. Brian McDonald and Matt Hubert in on the tackle for the Massena Red Raiders. Clock down to 2:39 left to play in the first quarter. It has been a very, very entertaining first quarter here at Massena. I'm sure you're enjoying it just as much as we are bringing it to you. Third down, about 7. Chin. And they reverse again, and this time it made big dividends. Chad Carista, and Carista on the carry, and on the reverse, first Osgood, and then to Carista, and Carista finds a loophole. So the reverse working well for the Potsdam Sandstoners. First and 10 Sandstoners. And again, they keep the ball on the ground. Chris Chase on the carry. And in on the tackle for the Massena Red Raiders, number 35, Brian McDonald. And Steve Smith, number 40. And I don't have Steve Smith on my roster, so I better put him on here. Second down at about 3. And again, Chad Carista on the carry. So the Sandstoners deciding to keep it on the ground. They have done so well in the rushing department the last time they drove down the field. And they put the ball up in the air, and Dan Frost says, I'll take that. So the Sandstoners do pick up a first down. So Potsdam on the move here. Handoff. Goes to Chase. Chase gets down close to the 10-yard line. We'll call it about the 11-yard line. And it'll be second down at about 8 and 54 seconds, and the clock is running. Left to go in the first quarter. Massena on top, 7-0. As you're watching the NAC on EP Sports. Chin, the handoff. Again, the reverse, and again, it pays big. Down just shy of the goal line, James Osgood, and in on the tackle, it looked like Dan Frost and Steve Smith getting in on the tackle as well, number 40. As you get a look at James Osgood, the reverse has really worked well for the Potsdam Sandstoners. They're mixing it up down there, and it's paying off big. Ball sits at about the 2-yard line. Big stand coming here for the Red Raiders. Up the middle. And touchdown, Potsdam. And trying to stack it up down in the trenches. The Red Raiders trying to stop it, but couldn't do so. Brandon Murray gets the touchdown for the Potsdam Sandstoners. And it is now 7-6. Sandstoners are going to go for 2 here. And again on that reverse, and they get in for 2. So the KG Sandstoners get the 2 as Carista goes in, and it is now 8-7 in favor of the Sandstoners. And I believe this will be the touchdown coming up on the replay. And it is. And Chin up the middle this time. Brandon Murray. And the Sandstoners are on the board, and the 2-point conversion was good. So it is Potsdam 8 and Massena 7 with 15 seconds left to play in the first quarter. And again, you can hear that wind just whistling through my microphone. And it is strong right now, we can tell you that, as you get a look at the Davidson Car Company scoreboard. So the Sandstoners ready to kick it off here. And there you get a look along the sidelines at number 77, Brad Griffith of the Massena Red Raiders. Sandstoners ready to kick it into the wind. And whistles everywhere. Josh Doherty was all set to take off with it, but the whistles had blown. And they'll do it all over again. Coaching staff, Coach Al Nicola there, of course, the Massena Red Raiders. He has, I would say, done very, very well for himself in his first season with the Massena Red Raiders. They have done nothing but get better and better as each week has gone along in this season. So Henry Blinn will kick it off. And Blinn kicks it on the ground. It takes a couple of funny hops, but it's finally picked up. And Red Raiders will start. And around the 37-yard line, their own 37, 1st and 10. Ball took a little bit of a funny hop there. But the Red Raiders maintain possession. 9 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Our score, Red Raiders 7, or excuse me, Potsdam 8, Red Raiders 7. And McDonald up the middle. Bryant, gain of about 4 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 6. So, breaking the action as the first quarter comes to an end. We'll return with the Massena, New York. An important game for both of these ball clubs in the NAC. You're watching the NAC on AP Sports. The Sandstoners 8 and the Red Raiders 7. And we are ready to get underway here in this second quarter. Happy to have you along with us. 2nd down and 8. Pitch comes back. Here's Grady. And Steve Grady accelerates past midfield and up all the way to the 45-yard line. And Steve Grady is like he's got rockets on his sneakers tonight. They say on his shoes. Ball sits just shy of the 45-yard line. Red Raiders on the move here. Gilbert at quarterback for the Red Raiders. This time, change of pace for the Red Raiders. McDonald on the carry and on the tackle for the Sandstoners. Number 23, Chris Chase, and number 77, Mike LaMarche. Second down and 8. About 8.5, we'll call it. For another first down for the Massena Red Raiders. Doherty goes in motion. The handoff goes to Grady. Steve picking up big yardage there. And Grady continues to roll along here. So Steve, as we said, well over 1,000 yards this season. So far coming into this game, and I'm sure he's going to add to that total. Get a look at the Red Raider sidelines. 3rd down and 3 for the Red Raiders. Trying to keep this drive alive here. And it looked as if Hubert decided to keep it himself, and he may have picked up the first down. It's going to be very close. We'll have to wait and see where they spot it. And this wind is really starting to pick up. And there you get a chance to see the flags, and they are blowing right along there. As you can see, this wind is just howling, and it is right in the Red Raiders' face. And it continues to howl here. We figured maybe by sundown that this wind would die down a little bit, but it has not done that at all. It has really rolled along here. And get a look at our scoreboard with 10:13 left to play, as you saw in the first, in the first half. The Red Raiders do pick up a first down, so they will keep this drive alive. Both teams have moved the ball very, very well here in this first half. It has been an entertaining one so far. 1st and 10, Raiders. Hubert trying to find a loophole, pitches it out on the option to Grady. Steve, maybe a couple on the play. Steve has had a couple of great games here in a row, and this one it looks like is going to be his third. Really has marched that ball right along here in the last couple of games. Second down and about 7. Let's get a look at that Sandstormer defensive front line. Hubert to Grady. Grady grinds out about 5 yards.
Why?
And Steve up close to another first down.
Dude, they can hear us in there.
Steve Grady.
Ow, my ear. Come on, let's go.
I'm sure Coach Al Nicola will hate to see him go. Steve, a senior. Seth O'Neill comes out of the game for the Sandstoners. Third down and about 2 for another first down. Pitch back to Grady. Grady finding some room down the sidelines, and it looks as if Steve has picked up the first down for the Red Raiders. And the Red Raiders do pick up another first down. So Massena moving the ball well on the ground. Both teams, it looks as if they have marched this ball up and down the field at will during this first half. .8:25 remaining to play here in the second quarter. Mike Nicholas Field in Massena, New York. A crucial game for both of these teams as the Potsdam Sandstoners take on the Red Raiders. Hey, a couple of young Red Raider cheerleaders over there. And headed for the goal line. Look out, and a nice gaping hole opens up there for Derek McCoyce, I believe it is. And I mispronounced that. Maciosi. Derek Maciosi. The junior fullback. And Maciosi almost getting himself a Red Raider touchdown there. Haven't seen much of Derek this season, but great carry there. First and goal. Handoff goes to Josh Doherty, and the big man is in for a touchdown. So Josh Doherty, who when he gets up a pretty good head of steam is pretty hard to stop, gets in, and the Red Raiders now lead it 13-8. And you can tell by the way the Red Raiders have been moving this football that they are on a mission. And Dan Frost will try to add the point after. High snap, it's fumbled. And the extra point attempt is no good. So the snap a little bit high. And the point after attempt is no good. So with 7:39 left to play in the second quarter, the score, Red Raiders 13 and the Potsdam Sandstoners 8. And it has been a great football game so far. This up and down the field, I like this myself. I don't know about you at home, but I really enjoy it. Now we get a chance to look at the touchdown once again. Hubert gives it to Doherty. He's got two blockers in front of him, but when Josh gets rolling along, it's a little hard to bring him down even if he was on his own without the blocks. And Red Raiders 13, Sandstoners 8. So you're watching the NAC on EP Sports. We're happy to have you along with us. I'm Jamie Davis. A very entertaining ball game so far. If you're just joining us, you've missed out on some great up and down the field movement by both teams. So Frost ready to kick it away here. And back to receive the kick, James Osgood. And it looks as if Chad Carista on the other side. It'll be Carista with the ball. Carista finding a hole. And Carista gets across the 40-yard line. They'll spot the ball right around the 41-yard line, and that's where Potsdam will begin 1st and 10. In on the tackle for the Red Raiders, Shane Cameron. 30. The wind continues to howl here. Sandstoners will have it at their backs. Chen at quarterback. Pitch comes back. James Osgood on the carry. Red Raiders have him stacked up.
Number 15, James Osgood on the carry.
And on the tackle for the Red Raiders.
On the stop for the Raiders.
I believe it was
along with Kyle
Goodness, I believe. Yes, number 57, along with Joe Martin was in there too as well. At any rate, it'll be 2nd down at about 8 for the Sandstoners. Chen wants to put it up in the air and in and out of the hands of Osgood. James Osgood trying to hang on to it. Matt Hubert was over there, but Osgood unable to get a handle on it. So it'll be 3rd down and 9 with 6:50 left to play in the 2nd quarter. 13-8 the score. And these two teams have really put on a show here in the first half. And the Sandstoners may have picked up about 5 or 6 yards on the play as Osgood on the carry. The reverse in the backfield has worked very well for Potsdam, but they come up a little short there. It'll be 4th down. And Steve Grady will drop back to receive the punt. This ball, if it gets up in the air quite a ways, will carry quite far, depending upon how good the kick is. And it's a good one. Grady goes way over to the sidelines. And a fairly decent punt. And that will have to wait and see where they mark him. You can just tell by the sound of my microphone. Boy, oh boy, I'll tell you, it is pretty windy. Even 6 minutes left to play in the 2nd quarter. 13-8 our score. And the Red Raiders just scoring moments ago. They have the ball once again. First and 10. Handoff goes to Steve Grady, and he is finally hauled down by number 45. And we'll check and see. That may be Jess Howe. This is number 44, but I believe that is Jess Howe. Check it out later. Second down. Huber. And a big defensive play coming in there to make the tackle, Mike LaMarche. And LaMarche with a huge tackle there, and that will push the Red Raiders back just a little bit. And it'll be 3rd down and about 11 for the Red Raiders. Gilbert sends a man in motion. And a pass over the middle, complete to Mark Goodfellow. And the tall target picks up a lot of yards on the play. And we'll wait and see. And the Red Raiders do pick up the first down. So a big reception by Mark Goodfellow. With 4:28 left to play in the second quarter. The Red Raiders on the march again. Huber on the option, pitches back to Grady. He's finally run out of bounds again by number 77, Mike LaMarche. Also in on the tackle, number 32, Frank LaSala for the Sandstoners. So the Red Raiders and the Sandstoners, with the exception of the interception that Chen threw, both teams have played almost flawless football out there, which has made it very entertaining. Red Raiders keep the ball on the ground. McDonald on the carry. And on the tackle, number 43, Seth O'Neill for the Potsdam Sandstoners. As the clock stops at 3:27 now left to play. Red Raiders pick up another first down.
Ball on the Massena 37-yard line.
Gilbert wants to put it up in the air, looks towards the sidelines. Josh Doherty was the intended receiver. You got to look at Josh there. Wind right in the Red Raiders' face here. Hubert appears to be grimacing just a little bit, as you see. Second down and 10. Pitch comes back. Here's Grady finding some room. Steve Grady with some nice moves here. And Grady across the 40 and all the way down to the 37-yard line. It's Steve Grady with a big carry there, but a flag down on the play. And we'll take a look at that beautiful carry and run by Steve Grady. And Grady with some good blocking out in front of him. Finally is brought down, but Brad Griffith got a good block in there to give Grady some more room. But it will be all for naught, as it looks like the ball is coming back. A penalty on the Massena Red Raiders, and that will bring it all the way back once again. So that nice run is completely washed out by Steve Grady. So a tough penalty there for the Red Raiders. A second down and 8. Huber gives the ball to Grady. And Grady looking to go back where he was. Gets it all the way up to the Sandstoner 43-yard line before he's run out of bounds. So the Red Raiders go right back to the well again and ask Steve Grady to get it all back, and he does. Or most of it, anyway. And the Red Raiders pick up a first down. First and 10 at the Red Raider, the Sandstoner 46-yard line. Again, Grady spinning, making some nice moves there. Steve Grady like a runaway freight train out there when he gets the ball right now.
On the stop for the Stoners, number 20, Dan Chen, along with number 27, Mike LaMarche.
Senior tailback for the Massena Red Raiders. They are on the march. Breaking the end, second down and 3 for the Red Raiders. Pitch comes back, Grady trying to find some room on the outside, and a good tackle there by Dan Chen, number 20. Grady stopped on a great open field tackle by Chin. And that pushes the Red Raiders back. It'll be third down at about 7. What an entertaining ball game this has been so far. Ball at the Sandstoner 43-yard line, it looks like. And again, a big defensive play there. And Mike Lamar showing no compassion at all for Josh Doherty on that at all. As he threw him to the ground like a rag doll there. 1:41 left to play in this second quarter. Back with more football right after this.
Massena Chrysler Plymouth Dodge and Dodge Trucks is now
play in the second quarter. 13-8 our score. Red Raiders on top by 5. And fourth down, and they'll have to kick it away. And back to receive the kick is James Osgood. And the kick from Doherty is away. A scramble for it. And the Sandstoners will take over with 1:33 now left to play. Coach Al Nicola on the sidelines. Louis Trevino going by there. There's the senior Red Raider #1 fan. Nicola, of course, giving his team instructions. Had too many men in the field. Coach Nicola trying to get look like Brian McDonald off the field. 1st and 10. Chen will put it up in the air. Osgood just out of his reaches. Just out of his reach, I should say. On the coverage. Derek Masiosi. I hope I said that right. Maciosi. Derek Maciosi. 32. I'll get it right. I know I will. Chen decides to keep it on the ground, and it pays big dividends there. All the way out to the 50-yard line on the carry, number 42, Brandon Murray. And Sandstoners get it into Red Raider territory. The ball at the 49-yard line. First and 10, Sandstoners. Chin wants to put it up. Big pursuit coming there. He eludes one tackle and now turns it into something as he got away from Mark Goodfellow and then was able to get away from Brad Griffith as well, number 77. And turns it into a big gain on the play. So Dan Chin picks up about 6 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 4. Sandstoners in a hurry to move it as the clock ticks along. 40 seconds left to play and a half. Chen wants to put it up in the air again as a man open down the sideline and can't quite catch up to it is number 81, Eric LaValle. As LaValle needed about 3 or 4 more steps with the ball sailed over his head, and it's not very surprising that something like that happens because the wind is just howling again, and it probably took that ball right away from him. 3rd down and 6 coming up here for the Sandstoners. They keep the ball on the ground. Murray scrambling. And Murray looks like he's just shy of the 1st down out there. Our score, Red Raiders 13, Sandstoners 8. We're at Mike Nicholas Field in Massena, New York. A big game for both of these teams. And a timeout on the field with 27 seconds left to play in the half. And there you see the standings in the Nicholas Conference. Sandstoners on top, 5-1. The Massena Red Raiders need this win in the worst way. And so do the Sandstoners for that matter. As you get a look at the other conference, Watertown 7-0 overall, 6-0. And they will face one of these two teams in the Class A championship game. As the Cyclones taking on the Governor Wildcats in the NAC schedule. Chen puts it up in the air, and it's caught. And apparently it got out of his hands. He had the ball for a moment. A nice pass by Chen, but again, the wind probably taking it a little farther than Eric LaValle expected it to go. And it appeared like LaValle got under that one, but it got away from him. Second down. And 10, and Chen continues to want to put the ball up. Big rush coming, and Chen tries to take off, but he's finally hauled down by Joe Martin, number 64, for the Massena Red Raiders. 9 seconds left to go here in the second quarter, and the clock continues to tick away. Sandstoners in their hurry-up offense here, trying to get the play off before the end of the quarter. And Chen drives the ball into the ground, and we'll wait and see. The clock shows that it has expired, but they may put 1 second back on it. And we saw the official nod his head, so I think they'll be putting 1 second back on the clock again. The officials are talking it over. And we'll wait and see. The officials, I believe, are putting 1 second more back on the clock again. They show no time left, but Sandstoners will get another play. Chen, back to pass, wants to put it up in the air. And it's intercepted by Dan Frost, and Frost again finds himself with a football. So the Red Raiders, in a way, dodge a bullet there, but it has been a very entertaining first half here at Massena. So we played one half of football here at Mike Nicholas Field, and the score, Massena 13 and Potsdam 8. You're watching the NAC on EP Sports. Of football ready to get underway here at a windy Mike Nicholas Field. And for those of you at home who continue to hear that sound in my microphone, no, it is not a Boeing 747 constantly sitting over the top of me with its engines running. The NAC on EP Sports, a big game for both of these teams. And we're underway here in the second half. Steve Grady takes it at his own 3. And Grady finding some room and picks up a few extra yards. all the way out close to the 30-yard line, and that's where the Red Raiders will take over 1st and 10. And you get a look along the sideline of the Potsdam Sandstoners, and cameraman Chris Tabor getting those great shots along the sidelines. And of course, Gary Edwards upstairs with all those great shots like that one right there. 1st and 10, Red Raiders. Gilbert, the handoff. And the Sandstoners defense rises to the occasion. Grady on the carry and coming up with the tackle. Number 42, Brandon Murray. And 13-8. Our score. Just underway here in the 3rd quarter. 2nd down and about 7. And Hubert puts it up in the air, and it looks as if it is complete to Mark Goodfellow. Today's game on EP Sports is sponsored by Agway, by Davidson Chevrolet of Watertown, by Rosario's Deli, by Pete's Jewelers, by Massena Chrysler, by Donaldson Funeral Home of Massena, by Seacom Federal Credit Union, by C&M Ford, by Kentucky Fried Chicken, and by University Orthopedic Sports Medicine. 10:57 left to play in the 3rd quarter. Our score, the Red Raiders 13 and the Sandstoners 8. I'm Jamie Davis. We hope you're enjoying the NAC on EP Sports. As the Red Raiders come up just shy of a 1st down. That'll be 3rd down and a handful for another Red Raider 1st down. As we mentioned, both teams marched the ball up and down the field very, very well in that 1st half. Red Raiders come up to the ball. 3rd down and about a foot for another 1st down. Hubert will keep it himself. He's stacked up, but we'll wait and see. It looks like he may have enough for a 1st down. We'll wait and see where they mark it. And the Red Raiders do pick up another 1st down.
I don't know you.
1st and 10 at the Red Raider 38-yard line. Hubert. Handoff to Grady, and Grady is tackled by Dan Chin. Get a look at Dan Chin, also the quarterback for the Potsdam Sandstoners. A rather brisk evening here with an even 10 minutes left to play in the 3rd quarter now. Dan Chin, there he is. A junior, so he will be around again next season for the Potsdam Sandstoners. Hubert rolling out, wants to put it up in the air and finds Grady open as he's goes out of bounds, and a late hit may be called here as it looked like number 44, Jesse Howe, came over, and this may be a late hit. And there'll be some yards tacked on after that one. Personal foul is called on the Sandstoners, and that will march the ball all the way down inside the 40 to the Sandstoner 38-yard line. And Grady getting out of bounds, and then the late hit. And a few more yards tacked on after that. 1st and 10, Red Raiders in great field position. Hubert, handoff goes to Grady. Grady finding a hole, and Chin brings him down. Number 20 for the Sandstoners. Look along the Sandstoner sidelines there. There's Tony Vaccaro, the head coach of Potsdam. We saw Tony. Red Raiders have been moving the ball nicely all evening long. Grady having a banner evening. Grady gets the ball again. Steve trying to find some room outside. He's finally run out of bounds by number 66 for the Potsdam Sandstoners, Rich Ramunda, and number 77, Mike LaMarche.
On the Sandstoner 27-yard line.
As we said, a big game for both of these teams. Determine which one will take on the Watertown Cyclones for that Class A championship. First and 10, Red Raiders. They pick up another first down. Here's Grady. Again, Grady working the ball to the right-hand side. He's finally pushed out of bounds by Chad Carista, number 24 for the Sandstoners. There you get a look at some of that Sandstoner crowd mixed in with some of the Red Raider crowd there. Get a look along the sidelines there. The Potsdam fans strong here.
Second and 6.
Second down and about 6 for the Red Raiders. Again, Grady. And Grady finds a loophole. Steve Grady. And he gets the ball down inside the 10, down to the 7-yard line. Steve Grady on a great carry there. And the holes are opening up on that big offensive line for the Massena Red Raiders. And Grady is finding some great openings and turning a profit with each and every carry. First and goal from the 7. Grady again trying to work his way to the outside, and he's hauled down. Mike LaMarche and Jason Farnsworth in on the tackle for the Potsdam Sandstoners. .7:53 left to play in the third quarter. 13-8 our score. Red Raiders on top by 5, and they are threatening again as you'll get a look at Jesse Howe, the senior halfback for the Potsdam Sandstoners. And the ball pitched out and getting away. Josh Doherty trying to go after it. The Red Raiders are way back now. Pitch came out and there was nobody home. So the Red Raiders, a bit of a faux pas there, and the Sandstoners can't believe their eyes on that one. Ball sitting around the 34-yard line as the Red Raiders temporarily putting it in reverse. Third down and a ton. And a flag comes flying in. We'll wait and see what this is all about. And the Red Raiders taking too much time. And another 5 yards tacked down to that. So the Red Raiders decide to call a timeout and see if they can't fix that transmission that has them going in reverse. We got a break in the action. 13-8 Raiders. We'll be back after trying to root their team on to a victory, and 6:51 left to play in the third quarter. Red Raiders on top, 13-8. They had the ball clear down to the 7-yard line. And then a pitch came back intended for Josh Doherty, and the ball got away and came all the way back here. And then a 5-yard penalty after that, and the Red Raiders find themselves going in the wrong direction. But they will try to head the other way right here. Huber wants to put it up in the air and go long down the sidelines. Has a man open. The catch is made, but whether he was in bounds or not, we'll wait and see. Josh Doherty making a circus catch along the sidelines, but apparently not staying in bounds, and Red Raiders will have to try it again. 4th down, and they will kick it away. So a big disappointment here, I'm sure, for the Red Raiders, having to give this football up as they got it all the way down inside the 7. Jesse Howe is back to receive the kick. Howe slips and falls down, and the Red Raiders will down that ball inside the 10 at the 9-yard line. So the Red Raiders get a bit of a break on special teams here, as Jesse Howe couldn't get his footing and get that ball. Look at the sidelines of the Potsdam Sandstoners. 1st and 10 from the Sandstoner 9. Chen, handoff. Goes to Chad Carista. Carista trying to get a little running room there. Pick up of about 5 on the play. Got a matchup going on there between Brandon Murray and Josh Doherty. Excuse me, Mark Goodfellow. Yeah. That'll be 2nd down and about 5 for the Sandstoners. And a handoff again. Goes to Osgood, I should say. Number 15 for the Sandstoners. Getting up there, number 44, Jesse Howe. 5:34, and the clock is running. Left to play in the 3rd quarter. 13-8 our score. Henry Blinn coming to the sidelines. And the handoff again, the reverse in the backfield goes to number 24, Chad Carista. That play has picked up the Sandstormers some big yardage in this ball game. And the clock continues to tick away here. Both teams have not been afraid, as you get a look at Chad Carista, to put the ball up in the air. Even with this wind blowing the way it has, both teams have really tried to air this ball out in this ball game. 4th down and a big one, and it looks like the Sandstoners may have picked up the 1st down as they grind their way forward. And down at the bottom of the file, number 42, Brandon Murray. And Murray picks up the 1st down, so the Sandstoners continue to keep this drive alive. You get a look at the Davidson Car Company scoreboard. Massena 13, Potsdam 8. I'm Jamie Davis. We're at Mike Nicholas Field. And Massena, a big game for both of these teams. And a fumble, and the Sandstoners are able to get it. And a very alert Frank LaSalla, and if LaSalla hadn't been around, that was an open football for the Red Raiders. They were right there, but LaSalla jumping on it right there. Clock down to 3:57 now left to play in the 3rd quarter. 2nd down, about 13. Chen wants to put it up, and that's batted away by the big hand of Mark Goodfellow. So Mark gets a paw on it and whacks it away. And Sandstoners find themselves in a bad position now. Get a look at Mark Goodfellow, the senior tight end for the Massena Red Raiders. Big third down play coming here. Chen wants to put it up down the middle. And incomplete. Seth O'Neill was the intended receiver, but unable to get it. Look at O'Neill. So it'll be fourth down. Sandstoners will have to kick it away. And Steve Grady will drop back to receive the kick from Chris Chase. High snap gets over Chase's head. Chase trying to pick it up, and Mark Goodfellow just mows him over. And they get the safety. The Red Raiders coming at Chris Chase, and Chase didn't look like he had a chance at all. Mark Goodfellow was coming like a runaway freight train at him, and there was just no getting away from Goodfellow when he came after him. Mark getting him in his sights, and that was it. And briefly after that, the cavalry arrived, the rest of the Red Raiders, and that was the end of that. 15-8 now. And of course, the bonus part of this situation is the fact that the Red Raiders will get the ball back as well. So the Sandstoners find themselves down by a touchdown and a point after. They will kick it away. Grady is back to receive. He takes it at his 25. Grady, with a quick move, heads for the sideline. Picks up a ton more and is finally brought down. And goes out of bounds at around the Sandstoner 48-yard line. Nick LeClaire going to the sidelines there, number 34 for the Sandstoners. Coach Tony Vaccaro now is needing to really pace those sidelines. There's our Davidson Car Company scoreboard. Red Raiders picking up the safety there, now make it 15-8, and they've got the ball back in great field position and right in Sandstoner territory. 1st and 10 from the Sandstoner 48. Handoff, Grady up the middle, Steve Grady. And Grady with some big yardage there, finally hauled down by Frank LaSala, number 32, but not before he picks up big yardage and another Red Raider first down. So the Red Raiders continue to roll here, and they have played one of the finest games they've played all season. They have just played better and better every game here as the season has gone along. Grady up the middle this time. Sandstoners try to put a stop to that. Maybe a yard on the play.
On the stop for Potsdam, Brandon Murray along with Josh LeFave.
Clock down to 2:37 now left to play in the third quarter. Ball at the Sandstoner 35-yard line. Gilbert on a keeper himself, trying to sneak away with it, maybe a couple on the play. It'll be 3rd down for the Red Raiders. Again, the wind, as you're looking at your screen, is blowing from left to right, so the Red Raiders, if they do decide to put the ball up in the air, will be throwing it into the wind. And coming out of the ball game, number 43, that's Seth O'Neill right there. Looks as if Seth may have had his bell rung a little bit, but appears to be okay. 3rd and 7. Hubert wants to put it up long down the sidelines, and that one's whacked away by Chad Carista. Intended receiver was Josh Doherty, and that one is batted away at the last second. So it'll be 4th down as the clock stops with 1:31 left to play in the 3rd quarter. The NAC on EP Sports. We are very happy to be here. We are glad that you are with us. And we hope you're enjoying our game. Of course, we'd like to thank all of our sponsors, because I'll tell you, without them, it wouldn't even be possible at all. 4th down, Hubert will go for it. Doherty comes to the far side. Hubert rolls out, wants to put the ball up in the air, goes the opposite way, has a man open. Here's Mark Goodfellow. And Goodfellow, touchdown. Josh Doherty went one way, and Goodfellow went the other, and Goodfellow gets the reception and takes it into the end zone. And it is now Red Raiders 21 and the Potsdam Sandstoners 8 with 1:22 left to play in the 3rd quarter. And Red Raiders, coming into this game, we knew they would be on a mission, and they are. And Frost will try to put another point up, and Hubert decides to take off with it and pass it in for 2 points, and trying to head for the line is McDonald, and he does get in. Brian McDonald just broke the plane, and it is now Red Raiders 23 and the Sandstoners 8, as a little chicanery by Matt Hubert as he passes to Brian McDonald, and McDonald breaks the plane for 2. 23-8. And we'll get a chance to look at it once again. Hubert on 4th down, a gutsy call here. Looks one way and then back the other way and finds Mark Goodfellow, and over the top. And Goodfellow takes it to pay dirt for the touchdown. And then on the 2-point conversion, Matt Hubert. Here it is. A fake. Frost knows it's going to Hubert. Hubert rolls out looking for McDonald, finds McDonald, and Brian just breaks the plane enough and in for the 2-point conversion, and that is where we are now. 23-8 with 1:22 left to play in the 3rd quarter as the Red Raiders kick it off here. Sandstoners trying to muscle their way in there. And on the carry, Seth O'Neill, running the ball back, I should say. So the Sandstoners with pretty good field position, but find themselves behind by 15 points, and I'm sure that they want to get things moving right along here with only 1:14 left to play in the 3rd quarter. First and 10 from the 43. Chen back to pass, puts it up, and finds a man open. Eric LaValle on the reception, and a big one for the Sandstoners with 1:07 left to play in the third quarter. Dan Chin goes back and completes the pass, and here it is again. Chin back, and a beautiful catch by Eric LaValle. And on the carry, as the Sandstormers keep it on the ground, Jesse Howe. There's our score, 23-8. And the Sandstormers trying to put quick 6 on the board here before the end of this third quarter. 35 seconds now remaining in the third quarter. And the reverse in the backfield once again, and Chad Carista on the carry, and he's hauled down there by number 63. Of the Massena Red Raiders, and I don't know whether that's Joe Martin or not. Yeah, Joe Martin here is 64. We'll check on that. But the Sandstormers keeping the drive alive here, and that will do it for the third quarter. And it has been an entertaining ball game, to say the least. We've played 3 here at Mike Nicholas Field. The score, the Massena Red Raiders 23 and the Potsdam Sandstoners 8. And we'll get a chance to see the Potsdam cheerleaders here in just a moment. Cheerleaders getting some quality prime time here on EP Sports. As you're watching the NAC on EP Sports as we're getting ready to start this fourth quarter. And what a great ball game it has been so far. Both teams have been able to move this ball nicely throughout this game. And these two teams would love to get a crack at Watertown in the Class A championship game. And we are ready to start this fourth quarter on a rather brisk evening here at Massena. Wind has been blowing constantly throughout this game and has not let up one bit. Chin will keep it himself, and Chin, and he is brought down hard by Matt Hubert. Number 7 for the Massena Red Raiders. And that will bring up 4th down for the Sandstoners. And with the field position that they have, I'm assuming that they will go for it. Mike Nicholas Field in Massena. Fall evening, windy, but exciting football. Chin wants to put it up in the air. He does, and has a man open, and is run out of bounds at the 1-yard line. On the reception, number 44, Jesse Howe. And Howe just steps out of bounds right at the 1-yard line. And the Sandstoners will try to punch it in from here as they now threaten. They are down by 15 going into this quarter. And they've moved the ball down the field big time here. Handoff up the middle. Touchdown. Wait and see, it appeared like Brandon Murray had the ball. And I believe that's who it was. We'll wait and see. But at any rate, the Sandstoners pick up a big touchdown there, and it's now 23-14, and they will try to add to that total. They go for two here. Chen puts it up in the air, has a man open, and it's in. So Eric LaValle adds 2 more points to the Sandstoner total, and with 11:15 left to play in the fourth quarter, the Sandstoners have marched the ball down the field and have scored. Massena 23 and Potsdam 16. Well, we hope you're enjoying our telecast here at Mike Nicholas Field. And we'd like to thank all of our sponsors once again for helping us bring this broadcast to you. And we'll get a chance to look at that touchdown again by the Sandstoners. And we'll see who it is that carries the ball through, and it does look like Murray. And Murray is in for the touchdown, and then the 2-point conversion right after that. As Chen decides to put it up in the air as he eludes one tackle and finds Eric LaValle in the end zone. McDonald trying to get a handle on it there, but Sandstoners on special teams get down there in a hurry and in on the tackle, Rich Raimunda, number 66, and also number 77, Mike LaMarche. As McDonald trying to get a handle on a bouncing football on the ensuing kickoff. So the Massena Red Raiders will begin 1st and 10 in their own territory. Hubert at quarterback. And goes to Steve Grady. Steve, maybe a couple on the play, 2-3 on the play. Be 2nd down and 7. 10:50 left to play in the fourth quarter. 23-16 our score, and it has been a beauty so far. The kind of football game you really enjoy watching. Second down, Red Raiders from their own 41. Pitch comes back to Grady. Grady tries to find some room around the outside and is collared there by number 77, Mike LaMarche.
Grady on the carry, brought down by number 77, Michael LaMarche.
And Grady. What a stellar performance he has had, especially in that first half. Red Raiders trying to grind out this clock a little more and maybe pick up another touchdown while they're at it. They have the lead, 23-16. Gilbert is back to pass, and he is sacked. Coming up the middle to make the tackle, number 54, Mark Decker. And the Sandstoner defense has come alive here in this fourth quarter. They want that ball back in the worst way. Red Raiders are going to have to kick it away. Josh Doherty back to kick. And Doherty hits a high kick, but the wind carries it a little bit past Howe, but Howe is making the most of it, and Howe gets across the 50 and into Red Raider territory at the Red Raider 48-yard line. And Jesse Howe, the senior halfback for the Potsdam Sandstoners, turns what looked like might be nothing into something right there. So the Sandstoners will get it in good field position. 1st and 10 from the Red Raider 48. Again, that reverse in the backfield. Howe, and he is hauled down by, I believe it's Steve Smith. So it will be 2nd down. Chen still at quarterback. Chen wants to put it up, and good defensive play there by number 57, Kyle Bigness, in on the tackle for the Massena Red Raiders. There's our score on the Davidson Car Company scoreboard. Red Raiders 23, Sandstoners 16. An NAC Class A playoff berth at stake in this game for both of these teams. Handoff up the middle for big yardage. On the carry for the Sandstoners, Brandon Murray, number 42. The wind has picked up again. It has been constantly blowing all evening long. It's died down a little bit every once in a while. But boy, when a gust of wind comes up tonight, it really howls. Again, up the middle. And again on the carry, number 42, Brandon Murray, brought down by Brad Griffith, number 77 for the Massena Red Raiders, as you get a look along the sidelines of the Potsdam Sandstoners.
Number 77, Brad Griffith on the stop.
And a look at number 33 there. It's Alex Stone there. 33 for the Potsdam Sandstoners. So the Red Raiders will get it back, 1st and 10. Gilbert, the handoff. They keep it on the ground. On the carry, Josh Doherty. Doherty finally run out of bounds. As Chad Carista takes Doherty out of bounds. Josh, another tough individual to bring down once he gets a head of steam up. So it'll be 2nd down and about 6. For another 1st down for the Red Raiders. Grady tries to grind it out up the middle. Mike LaMarche in on the tackle for the Potsdam Sandstoners. 6:28 left to go here in the ball game. 23-16, Red Raiders on top. Get a look at Steve Grady. And it looks like a rather winded Steve Grady at that. Third down and about 4 for another 1st down. Doherty comes in motion. Up the middle they go. And Ryan McDonald not getting much out of that before he is met by number 54, Mark Decker. Look at the Sandstoners there, and 72, Josh LaFay. So the Red Raiders will have to kick it away here. Clock continues to roll. Red Raiders not in any hurry to give it up. Josh Doherty will kick it away. Doherty gets off a high kick, and of course the wind will blow that one a little bit. And it goes out of bounds at about the 25-yard line, and that is where the Sandstoners will take over. 1st and 10 with 5:06 left to play in the ball game. And this has to be one of the best ball games that I've had the opportunity to call all season long. It has been exciting as both teams have moved this ball back and forth very, very well. Whichever one of these teams faces Watertown, I'll tell you what, Watertown better look out, because these two teams have really come a long ways as the season has gone along. They've done nothing but get better, both teams, as they've gone along. Handoff up the middle. Still going, and tough to bring down. Chad Carista. And once Carista got going forward, he wasn't about to stop. Took 3 or 4 Red Raider players to bring him down. Look at the Red Raider sidelines. And the handoff, and a fierce tackle there. And Jesse Howe on the carry. And Howe is smacked down pretty hard. Sandstoners trying to keep this drive going. Handoff up the middle. Brandon Murray, number 42, on the carry. And Ryan McDonald on the tackle. And we'll get a chance to take a look at that hit one more time. And here it is right here. Wham! Just unbelievable. Crushing blow there. Got hit like that, I probably wouldn't get up for about a month. Have to peel me off the grass. Sandstoners continue to try to grind it out up the middle, and the clock continues to roll on them. Down to 3:28 left to play in the ball game now. What's coming back in is Eric LaValle, number 81. Pretty good possibility that the Sandstoners are going to want to put this ball up in the air. 2nd down and 9 for the Sandstoners. Here's Chen. Wants to air it out a little. And complete. Jesse Howe on the reception for the Potsdam Sandstoners. And that will move the chains rather vigorously as the Sandstoners pick up another 1st down. 2:53 left to play in the ball game. Clock begins to roll once again. Pitch comes back to Howe. Howe tries to cut through the middle. Maybe a couple on the play. One of the officials helping up Brad Griffith there. Second down for the Sandstoners. Chen, the fake. And he is hammered. And Smith just absolutely unloads on Chen. 1:44 left to play in the ball game. The clock rolls. Fired up Red Raider defense trying to stop the Sandstoners here. Chin up in the air again. And that one just out of the outstretched hands. of number 81, Eric LaValle. Take a look at Eric. Senior tailback.
Timeout, Potsdam.
So the Sandstoners have called a timeout here with 1:29 left to play in the fourth quarter. Red Raiders on top, 23-16. Back after this.
Davidson Chevrolet has just added Oldsmobile and Cadillac and
by Rosario's Deli, 42 Main Street in Massena. Phone 764-0607. And by Donaldson Funeral Home, 100 North Main Street in Massena. Phone 769-3579.
Chen throwing it complete, and Howell is finally hauled out of bounds, but a big reception by Jesse Howe, and a flag goes down. And we'll wait and see what this flag is all about, as that one was thrown just after Howe went out of bounds. And there may be some yardage tacked onto that, and there is. So the Sandstoners really threatening now, as the personal foul against Massena tacks on a few more yards. 1:19 left to play in the ballgame. 23-16, the Red Raiders have the lead, but the Sandstoners are threatening. We're at Mike Nicholas Field. I'm Jamie Davis, along with the entire EP Sports crew. Sandstoners have marched the ball down the field here in the closing moments and are threatening to score here. They are down by 7. And the clock stops with 1:06 left to play in the fourth. Back with more right after this. Chen to put it up in the air, going for it all, touchdown! Jesse Howe with a huge Sandstoner touchdown. And with 1:01 remaining to play in the ball game, it is now Red Raiders 23 and the Sandstoners 22. And it'll be interesting to see what happens here. Now look at the Sandstoners sideline. Crowd for the Sandstoners have really come alive here as they have marched this ball down the field. And we'll get a chance to look at the pass once again. Dan Chen throwing the ball into the wind, mind you, on this. Puts it up in the air, decides to go for the whole ball of wax and finds Howe in the end zone. And touchdown, Sandstoners. They will go for 2. The reverse inside. Chad Carista makes the 2. And with 1:01 left to play in the fourth quarter, it is now Potsdam 24 and Massena 23. So in about 4 minutes, the Sandstoners march that ball down the field. And we'll get a chance, I believe, to look at the 2-point conversion again. That reverse has worked well in that backfield. Chad Carista in for the 2 points. A big 2 points, we might add, which has grabbed the lead for Potsdam. And we get a chance to look at it again. It goes from one side to the other as Howe hands off to Chad Carista. And he is in for the 2-point play. And the Sandstoners lead it 24-23 with 1 minute and 1 second left to play. But the Red Raiders will get the ball. And they have been known to march the ball up the field as well. The kick, line drive is picked up. Josh Doherty brought down at the 37-yard line, and that is where the Red Raiders will begin their drive with 55 seconds left to play in the ball game. Of course, Potsdam will go on to face the Watertown Cyclones next week. This is a do-or-die situation for the Massena Red Raiders with 55 seconds left to play. Hubert wants to put it up in the air and does. Finds Doherty. Doherty is ridden out of bounds by number 77, Mike LaMarche. But that does stop the clock with 51 seconds left to play, and it looks as if the Red Raiders are going to try to work that sideline. First and 10, Red Raiders. Doherty comes in motion. Hubert is looking to go to Doherty, and Doherty just in and out of his hands. But that does stop the clock, so it'll be second down. Josh right on the sidelines, unable to just get a handle on it. And again, this wind has picked up. You can see some of the leaves there blowing across the field. 24-23, Potsdam on top. 45 seconds left to play. Red Raiders trying to pull it off. Here's Grady. Steve Grady is looking towards the sidelines and finally gets out of bounds as Grady was thinking about turning it upfield but decided to stop the clock and give the Red Raiders another try here. 36 seconds left now. (24-23). We're at Mike Nicholas Field in Massena, New York. A big game for both of these teams. Hubert puts it up, downfield, intercepted. On the run back, Frank LaSala. And LaSala may have sealed it for the Sandstoners right there with 24 seconds left to play in the ball game. Frank LaSala picks off a Matt Hubert pass and runs it back, and the Sandstoners will get the ball. So LaSala, you see there. Celebrating along the sidelines with his Sandstoner team. And more than likely, Chen will sit on it. And the Red Raiders really come after it. We'll wait and see. Sandstoners still have it. Clock stops with 18 seconds left, but all the Sandstoners have to do is just hang on to that football here. Got a regular season game, their last game of the season coming up against Watertown next week, and that matchup will be a tune-up for the Class A championship game. Sandstoners probably will take one more snap. Penalty marker goes flying. And Sandstoners, of course, taking too much time there, and it's like a delay of game penalty being marked off. Big one, too. Now we'll check it again. Unsportsmanlike conduct by the Sandstoners. Sandstoners again will, of course, try to sit on it here. They do. And Chen decides to hang right onto it. Clock ticks away, 5 seconds left. And that will do it. The Potsdam Sandstoners come away with a huge victory here at Mike Nicholas Field. And what a big one for them. Today's game on Edwards Production Sports has been brought to you by Agway, by Davidson Chevrolet in Watertown, by Rosario's Deli, by Pete's Jewelers, by Massena Chrysler, by Donaldson Funeral Home in Massena, by Seacom Federal Credit Union, by C&M Ford, by Kentucky Fried Chicken of Massena, by University Orthopedic Sports Medicine. And we'll get a chance to take a look at some of the highlights from what was a very, very entertaining ball game. Steve Grady finds room down the sidelines in a pass from Matt Hubert. And the first score of the ball game, it goes into pay dirt. And Steve Grady, who has had a banner season in the NAC, gets that one, and it is 6-0. And then after the point after by Frost was good, it made it 7-0. And then Dan Chen marched his team down the other way and in for a score, and that evened it up. And then a 2-point conversion after that made it 8-7. And then the Red Raiders decide to do some marching up the field of their own. And the handoff going to Josh Doherty, and he goes in for the score. And then this play here by the Sandstoners, and that could have spelled the difference right there. A safety in the end zone. And then the Red Raiders came right back and tried to add insult to injury right here as Hubert puts the ball up and goes the opposite way and finds Mark Goodfellow, and Goodfellow heads for pay dirt. And at that point, things look pretty grim for the Sandstoners. And then the fake here by Matt Hubert, and Hubert rolling out and finding McDonald open, and McDonald going in for the 2 points. Then the Sandstoners, late in the fourth quarter, come marching right down the field, and Murray takes it in for a touchdown. And again, Chen goes for 2, finds a man open to the back of the end zone, and the 2-point conversion is good. And then Chen again backs up and tosses a long one into the end zone, and Howe with the big touchdown, which put the Sandstoners 1 point behind the Massena Red Raiders. And then on the reverse in the backfield, the 2-point conversion was good by Chad Carista, and that is the final.